For the stories you won't hear anywhere else, PayPal, and keep watching, and thank you very much. Africa is one of the richest countries in the world as far as resources. It's one of the poorest countries and has the most suffering people in the world. And people just shake their heads and say, why? Marcus Kolga is with MacDonald Laurier Institute. He's just published a paper on exactly that. And it used to be Europeans owned Africa, and then the West got out. And now you're telling us that it's really China and Russia that's going in, taking control of Africa.
That's right. There's a new race going on. So after the end of the Cold War, during the Cold War, we saw this battle between the West and the Soviet Union to fight for control of Africa. China was very much on the sidelines at that point. They were tried to get active, but they were on the sidelines.
They had their own problems.
That's right. They did have their own problems. But after the Cold War, the West started a slow retreat out of Africa. And so they were pulling back their investments, they were pulling back trade, they were pulling back their aid. And all of that peaked around the late 2000s when there was quite a bit of vacuum in Africa. China, of course, saw this, and they took advantage of it.
Because they go in, send in a couple thousand people, and say, we're going to help you, and they build it, and they stay there, and they own.
Right. They've offered to build all sorts of infrastructure around Africa. A lot of it leads to very important resource mines. And so these small countries that are already indebted become more indebted to China, and China, through that process, is able to control a lot of those small governments.
And China and Russia do not have the rules and regulations that Western democracies have when they're going in to invest in other countries.
They sure don't.
It sounds like strong man versus strong man, and they like each other that way.
So China and Russia actually prefer authoritarian regimes, dictators, if you will, who they're able to corrupt and who take kickbacks so that those regimes can control those governments. Unlike the West, who tried to democratize and give power back to those people. Russia, certainly over the past 3 years, has used their arms trade to secure a lot of those governments and gain influence and also chase down those very important resources in those countries.
And it's not just for charitable purposes. They want those resources, and they're taking them, bringing them back home to China and Russia.
They have no interest in helping the people of Africa. They are only interested in enriching themselves. And look, in the case of Russia, it's one guy, Vladimir Putin.
Right.
He's looking to enrich himself through that process.
In 100 years or 200 years, whatever, will people look back and say, you people in Western democracies, you're a bunch of children. You really had no idea what was going on, you and your rules.
You sort of get that sense right now, don't you? We still have a chance. We still have a chance to get involved. We need to work together with our allies because there are a load of opportunities in Africa. It is a huge market. And we can start manufacturing there, not just resources. There's a lot of opportunities there that we're missing because we don't have policies in place to look into investing in Africa.
We could do some good. Marcus Kolga, thanks very much. 3 minutes. Justin Trudeau is traversing the country on a government jet, handing out your money for all kinds of projects. I'm sure they're all extraordinarily worthy. Why now? He wants your vote. He is trying to buy a bigger Liberal majority next time around. So, as we are one of the few news services which are not paid for by the government and by Justin, please support us. And thanks for watching.